One of the things that always comes up in conversation for me, I'm a furniture maker, and people always talk about plywood versus solid wood, and can you make really heirloom quality furniture out of plywood? Because a lot of people think as soon as it's plywood, it really can't be as good as solid wood. I mean, it's not heirloom quality furniture. Why would you pass it down to the next generation? Because it's plywood after all. I disagree. I think you can do unbelievably sexy plywood furniture that looks as good in any home as any other piece of solid wood furniture. I'm not knocking solid wood, trust me, I do lots of it. But I think that if you do it right and you design the right pieces and you use the right plywood and the right techniques and the right finishes especially, I think you can make plywood at the level of really, really sexy heirloom furniture. I think it can be done. So to prove it to you, we're going to do it. So we're going to do it together. This is a follow-on series, and there's going to be a couple of different episodes, and we'll take you through the steps of the design process. We'll take you through the steps of the cutting the plywood and preparing it, and we're going to make something that is useful in every home. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a, let's call it a hutch, an entranceway hutch. And I'll show you that design in a second, but it's going to be the kind of thing that you can put a coat on, a hat on, hang a scarf on your handbag, your backpack, whatever, and there's storage space and there's hooks, and all of it will be made from plywood. Now, it seems like the wrong material choice, because why would you do that? But I think you guys will be surprised how versatile plywood can be, how amazing finish can make it look and feel, and how we can make mechanisms out of plywood components where you don't need to buy a metal sliding mechanism. We can just use the wood itself. In the first part, we're going to talk about material selection. That's this stuff over here. We're going to talk about the design, the concept, how we go about putting it together visually. We're going to talk about how to plan the project to make it all go smoothly. In part 2, we're going to actually cut the components. We're going to do joinery, and we're going to put the components together, and we're going to do something that maybe you haven't seen before. We're going to turn plywood into round dowels. Then in part 3, we're going to talk about the finishing touches. How do we make this thing absolutely gorgeous? We're going to talk about the kinds of finishes that work best on plywood, and we're going to talk about how to apply those finishes and all the little finishing touches that make this project really, really sing. So I've got you trapped for the next 3 times that you watch videos. Maybe you'll watch them all together. Maybe you're a binger like me. Maybe you'll watch all 3 in one big go and then rush into your garage at 1,000,000 miles an hour and go, right, let's get started. Or maybe you're much more, like chilled, and you'll just, take your time and watch one at a time and drip feed yourself information. Whatever works for you, man. I'm going to be here anyway. Okay, so now you know what we're going to be doing. You've seen pictures of it. Now we have to get it done. Okay, so that's all for part 1. You got to stick around. Hey, where are you going? Where are you going? Stick around. There's a part 2 and a part 3. Just relax. Just stick around. You're going to find there's lots more information to get here. So don't rush away. In fact, here's what you can do. Go make yourself a cup of tea, pour yourself a cold beer, do whatever it is you need to do. Go and have a wee. Come back, stick around and watch part 2, because this is the part where we get down to the nitty-gritty. We get down to cutting stuff, making sure we're working out the joinery. I'll let you in on some cool little joinery tips and some tricks, and we'll put this thing together. Then we're going to go on to part 3, where we do all the finishing touches. We're going to turn on the lathe. We're going to turn round dowels out of birch plywood. What? Yes, we're actually going to do that. But I think it's going to be fun. So stick around. We'll all have some fun together. Now hurry up and get back. Part 2 is about to start. Quick, go. Off you go.